City officials in Rohnert Park taking action after 4 people died on the SMART train tracks in the last month. People living in their vehicles at this parking lot in Rohnert Park are bearing the brunt of this new plan. KPX5's John Ramos says the people living there feel they're being scapegoated.
Last week, the SMART Transit Agency announced that the deaths on their tracks in Rohnert Park were not the fault of the trains, but of the people who were hit by them.
This is not a train crisis. This is a mental health and a public health crisis that we're dealing with.
Some of the deaths have been ruled suicides, others from inattentiveness. So the plan is to get help for the mentally ill and homeless who live alongside the tracks. But first, they have to be kicked out. At its meeting this week, the Rohnert Park City Council banned overnight parking in 5 of its parking lots, including this park and ride near a SMART crossing where 2 people died earlier this month.
They're kicking us out because the people get hit by a train, and they weren't even involved in this, So I don't know how they blame it on us, but they're trying.
About a dozen people live in RVs and campers in the lot, and John Hill says he and others work hard to keep it clean and free of trash. The residents have created a small memorial for one of the victims, a troubled young woman named Joy. But Hill says he resents that SMART and the city are connecting her death to the homeless living here.
Unfortunately, the families and everybody has to live with it, and we have to learn from it. But to put that kind of blame on anybody ever is never okay. That's just not right.
SMART admits it cannot keep people off all 43 miles of its tracks if they're determined to be there. But the folks living at the park and ride feel they're being kicked out, so it will look like officials are doing something about the problem.
Wherever this train goes, they're going to have to stop that wherever the train has a crossing. They can't just do it at one spot. And it's like homelessness is not like cockroaches. It just won't go away. They will grow. There will be more, and they will be back.
The people living here feel they're in a spot where they're not bothering anyone. But one man told me if they're kicked out, they will be pushed into the darker corners of the city. In Rohnert Park, John Ramos, KPIX5.
Now, the ban prohibits parking between the hours of 1 and 4 o'clock in the morning. It will go into effect on August 6th.